Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. Make sure my volume is down. All right, wow. So, let's see how things work. So I think everything is adjusted okay. Let me know if there's any sound problems or video problems in the chat. And so this week we'll start our first our first ever little movie segment. So we'll do, I forget what I called it in the Twitter announcement, but we'll start the Abuse Film Club, I guess. Yeah, right. So Knives Out. So we'll talk about Knives Out, which I was encouraged to do, even though I was reluctant. I think it was especially following the sting of Rise of Skywalker, the middle one, the last Jedi. Yeah, the second sequel, Star Wars film. Yeah, Last Jedi. It was a really unpleasant, really unpleasant movie to sit through, and so I was really not interested once Knives Out came out. I wasn't that interested in it, and it's been floating around on Japanese Netflix for a while, so we'll talk a little bit about that and see how it goes, and see if you can continue to subvert expectations in other genres. So that'll be we've kind of timed that. I'll kind of replace the convenience store thing for this week with that, because that might be a longer segment. So we'll do comments, and then we'll talk about a movie. And then I'll need your help figuring out what movie we will talk about next week, if you want to keep doing that. So I'll need your recommendations. Oh boy, so yeah, I'm not. Looks like I'm not keying very well. I still haven't figured out. I mean, I've got so much light pouring on me. I have no idea why I can't get my my green screen to key well enough. There's always strange, smudgy folds in the fabric. All right. But anyhow, let's get warmed up. And hope everyone is doing well this week. It's starting to turn a little bit. We had a couple of nice days that made us think about spring. But the strange thing about March in Japan is it basically just teases you the entire month. There's this cycle that there's some kind of expression for where you basically get 3 days of nice weather, 3 days of, spring and winter alternate. So a lot of people get sick. There's a very heavy heavy pollen in the air at this time, and then the temperature significantly jumps every 3 days. So it feels like spring. People take off their heavy coats. It goes back down to close to zero, and people have to get their coats back on. So you end up with some days where you're sweating in a winter coat, and then some days where you're freezing in a spring jacket. Yeah, but it's like that every year, and we need a little boost, or we need a decent hit of the warm weather for the cherry blossoms here to really start coming out. So hopefully that will happen. And it's towards the end of March, beginning of April, and it's different timing every year. So when people are traveling to Japan to see cherry blossoms, it's a real luck of the draw, like what kind of season you're going to get, and if you're actually going to be able to see things in full bloom. Because there's early where things just start to break. There's full bloom where the trees are completely open and very full looking, and then the petals start to fall day by day after that. And then late, you start to get leaves pushing through when there's just a few blossoms left. So yeah, full bloom is kind of what you're aiming for because it's the most beautiful. But the later stuff, later phases when the petals are really falling heavily is really beautiful too. We've had some years though where it's rainy and windy, and basically as soon as the blossoms open, these horrible winds just strip everything off the trees and plaster it to the ground under a bunch of rain. So some years you lose. You've only got about 2 weeks, and you lose that pretty quickly when the weather is bad. All right, I'm drawing luggage, I guess. But we'll see. And now that there's not the kind of tunnel of cherry trees here anymore, it doesn't matter so much. Because there's not much to see. These young trees don't start blooming or blossoming very much until they get much older. And so you just get a few little blossoms at the end of each branch, which is pretty depressing looking. But someday when I'm not around anymore, it will be very beautiful around here again. Although all of the maple trees are gone. There's no variety now. What they replaced the trees with was all sakura, the Japanese cherry tree, so there won't be any other seasons. And there was the plum tree, which blooms very early, so late winter you get plum blossoms, which are very nice as well. So there's no plum trees and no maple trees anymore. I don't know where I would put eyes on this. Yeah, so that really kind of ruins things. So that was nice having a big variety, so there was always kind of something going on, regardless of the season. Because those plum blossoms always give you hope, because the winter is dragging on and you're in February, and then you start to see blooming trees. Helps get you into March. All right. So luggage. We'll try some more luggage here. And it was yesterday was the Hinamatsuri, the girls' kind of doll festival. So it's kind of the girls' day. There's a boys' day and a girls' day, basically, in Japan. And the doll festival is for girls, and there's a kind of an elaborate display of dolls that are put up in the house during this time. So my daughter's birthday is right around this season, so that's kind of fun. That's always the decorations and everything are good around this time. But the bad thing is the way the school system is set up here. She is in a grade ahead of basically where she should be based on age. So she's the youngest kid by far in her class. So she's literally a year behind everybody else, which is a little strange. That meant she had to kind of go to school a year earlier, studying in kindergarten. And that wasn't good. I think she could have used another year at home becoming bilingual. All right, luggage. Yeah, so people are starting to travel again. People are kind of secretly traveling here, just and they're embarrassed. That's a very interesting thing about Japanese people, is they're embarrassed about traveling because they know they shouldn't be. They know they've been told not to. But with no tourists here, it's so tempting because things are not overrun. One of my students is taking her family to Universal Studios Japan to see the Nintendo World. Nintendo World or Mario World? The new Nintendo Land. And she's doing it because there's no lines. You know, they have a limitation to the number of people attending, so there's no lines and the park is very empty. So it's a rare chance to see a brand new part of the amusement park without any competition. But spring break is coming, spring holiday. So that will change very soon. It's going to be insanely crowded once everyone's out of school. But I loved the guiltiness. I have another student that is a snowboarder, and so the snow's been really good this year, and so she's guiltily been enjoying the nice season, but knows that everyone would be very unhappy with traveling for fun. But I think we're kind of at the end of things. I hope the governments aren't enjoying this control so much that they want to continue trying to make us afraid of something. Because it won't be hard. There's always going to be another disease to terrify people with, or a mutation of an old one. So we'll see. All right. So, luggage. Maybe I'll just do a weird stack of luggage. Yeah, let me try to fill some of these and see if I can get them in some sort of order. And this one. Oh, yeah, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. But what? Oh, the side didn't fill. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Okay. I think we're okay. Yeah, we'll stack some luggage here and see how that goes. Weird. Oh, I guess. Oh, because I'm not ignoring other layers. So anywhere there was overlap, there's going to be breaks in the fill. So do something that looks messy, but looks kind of a little bit intentional. Oh wow, that actually closed. Whoops. All right. I can't remember if I've drawn luggage before. For some reason, this feels very different. Oh, and if you've paid attention to the Nmity Stories, so the other YouTube channel, I'm posting both as a podcast and as YouTube videos, audio book, like real short stories read by AI voices on YouTube, just with a thumbnail. And then also you can subscribe as just a podcast with weekly releases. So I just posted the 8th story, which brings it up to almost 2 hours. I think, almost exactly 2 hours of content already. It's only been 2 months. Yeah, this is 8th, so it's the 2nd month. And we're at 2 hours of stories, which I was surprised by. It went by so fast. That was the thing I was really reluctant about. I had no idea. First I was thinking monthly, because I have about 12 stories, and having a year to get them all edited and produced seemed to be very a very easy schedule to deal with. And then I thought, oh well, but if somebody finds it and then they have to wait another month for the next one, they're gonna lose interest or just forget about it. So then I thought 2 weeks, and that makes it a little bit harder to get everything produced, but still probably enough time. And then I realized that I just wanted to kind of get everything out, and if people like it, there's something new every week, so it'll start to build a little faster. But yeah, it's not easy. I got to find some good places to market it. But yeah, so it's been fun to produce, and I'm trying to think of it more like a weekly television show or something, so that I'm not obsessed with everything being perfect. I mean, when I go to like physically publish the stories, I want to make sure that they're edited well and everything. But when I'm doing them just as the audiobooks, I just want to make sure that they're enjoyable as possible to listen to, because you can't give any direction to the AI voices. You can just kind of edit in pauses and try to get it to tell you things or say things the way that you're hoping that they would sound. And sometimes it's funny. I've been surprised. I don't want to duplicate that. I've been surprised that the AI voices sometimes come up with interesting readings that add a little something to the interpretation that I wasn't expecting. So that was funny. All right, there we go. Some luggage. But yeah, it's been interesting, and I'm hoping that with the sound effects and also changing the some accents and some genders of the voices, that it makes it a little bit more interesting to listen to than just with a single reader. A single reader has a much more control over the emotion and the effect of the story and the interpretation of the story. It can be very clear, but this was a kind of an interesting way to try to do it. Yeah, but it's just trying things that I haven't, that are possible with technology that I haven't seen other people doing. And so, yeah, got some interesting results. So please take a look in the description text for this stream for the Nmity YouTube channel, and let me know what you think in the comments there for how that if that actually works or not. These are keyholes, so they're not. There we go. Okay, why am I still drawing luggage? Get stuck on something and don't want to give it up. All right. There we go. A paper bag. Yeah, that's getting strange here. They're not, you have to pay for any kind of bag at any kind of retail place. Nobody gives you free bags anymore to cut down on waste, I guess. It's supposed to be some sort of environmental move, but it just makes stores more money because I still see most people getting bags for purchases. So I'm not sure how much it's helping. And the one bad thing that happens here is people get lunch from a convenience store and they're given a bag, so they put all their messy leftover trays and chopsticks and plastic and everything into the bag and tie it up very neatly so it's contained, and it can just go into a trash can, and even if it's like left out somewhere, it's not going to create a big problem. But now, because it costs like 5 yen, so like 3 to 5 cents more to purchase a bag, a plastic bag that you could tie your lunch trash up in. People don't do that anymore, and so you just have things blowing around. So I guess maybe ultimately for the sea turtles or whatever, it's helping. But for the look of the city, it's actually making things worse and giving the crows something to go after. In Japan, there's a lot of crows tearing up trash cans. It's a really weird sight because they'll roost on the power lines or phone lines in the cities, and they look really oddly out of place, and they basically just wait for trash to be unattended, or they wait for trash day where they can pick up the bags. So they'll scatter stuff everywhere. And now that's even worse. So it's all about unintended consequences. All right. Oops. Trying to draw something apple-like. And actually, my lines are a little too thick, I think. Yeah, I'll have to go. Let me go with a lighter touch on that so it matches the line quality of the bags more. All right. Oh, so I hope the chat is working. It looks pretty dead. Let me double check that I'm not missing something. Yeah. A couple of viewers. I guess I'm a little later than usual, so maybe I'm missing some timing. But there we go. No. Yeah, but we'll see. And I'll wait until the stream gets more full before doing any movie stuff. Now, like this. All right. I'm going to be forever drawing apples. Maybe not so fat. I don't know. Yeah, that might work. All right. And so, how about a smashed sandwich? That's my only memory from brown bagging it as a kid is if the apple goes in the wrong time, the sandwich is destroyed. There we go. Well, I can hear crows at the window, so they must have found something. Okay, so is there too much detail on that? I'm not sure if I could even put... yeah, maybe here I can put eyes. Wow, I'm going to be through these cartoons very, very quickly. Wow, what's going on? Yeah, my notifications haven't been going well. Let me double check on my end if I'm even getting any. Yeah, one. Yeah, so YouTube gave me a notice, but Twitch didn't. Am I live on Twitch? Possibly. Oh yeah, it's been giving that weird video error recently, so I have no idea maybe I'm sending wrong to Twitch. It says I'm online. Hello, one Twitch viewer, which is probably myself. Okay. Oh, did I lose? Yeah, maybe. Lost something. Okay. So, close that. Yeah, I think we're going okay. Very odd. But yeah, hope everything is okay for everyone. Oh, maybe get rid of this layer. So I'm going to scale everything up and then try to compose the frame a little better. And maybe the apple can have a little more size, be a little more intimidating. And also the smashed sandwich. Something like that. It's actually giving me a little depth. I guess that looks okay. All right. A little bit bigger. So everything has a similar line weight. All right. Oh. So, I think we're actually pretty close. Let me just color this a little bit and make sure that it works. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Yeah. Or maybe a little more yellow. A little bit warm. Warmer brown is okay. And then a nice apple red. And a crushed sandwich color. Oh, maybe lighter than that, yeah. And then I'll have to go darker for the crust. Is that too dark? Yes. A little more golden maybe. Yeah, that works. Like that. Yeah, just a little bit of that contrast. And it's always good if you want some contrast to like warm up. If you're just doing two shades, I can just fill this. Two shades of a color, but you want a little contrast, like warm it up, like make it a little more red or a little more blue. And it gives you a nicer contrast to what's going on. All right. Well, if the stream doesn't fill up, I may postpone the film discussion because it'll be more fun with a busy stream. I might have just had bad timing this week, or something mysterious is happening in the worlds of YouTube and Twitch that no one will ever know about or be accountable for. The amazing world of the unaccountable online. Oh, maybe here. All right. Oh, yeah, the top. Yeah, I'm so happy I got my schedule cleared pretty well today, so I don't have to rush through anything, but maybe my timing was not good. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So I want to put a pretty big highlight. Let's make sure that's white. On the apple. Yeah, the sandwich does. Oh, maybe I should put something in the sandwich. So maybe a little grape jelly or something. Maybe more grape than that. Yeah, so it looks like it's kind of something's coming out. Although, oh yeah, I guess I'll put the eyes up there. It makes it... I gotta remember, with these little tiny highlights, they're never going to be seen when I bring things down to the final size. Whoa. Oh, am I really scaled that big? I guess I am. It is a pretty big. Huh. Yeah, wow, those shouldn't need to be that big, but I guess so. Okay. Pleading innocence. So these have got to look a little bit bigger than those dots. There we go. All these squashed sandwiches. There we go. Yeah, I guess it's much bigger than I thought. Can I move everything over a little? Huh. Yeah, not too bad. Oh. Delete, delete. There we go. Oh, maybe a little bit more on the edge. Oops, on the edge of this bag. That might help the overall depth. All right. Yeah, hopefully that sandwich just looks squashed and not bitten into. I'll try to make the divot more apparent. Okay. All right. So, let's see. Oh, what's the... Oh, that's right, luggage. What color is luggage? These are both pretty big cartoons. Weird. So I'll do some old style. Kind of muted. Navy, not so dark. A little lighter. There we go. Yeah, it wasn't until I started traveling internationally more often I realized how suitcase technology had evolved so much. I think for just like traveling, like, you know, car trips or domestic flights, I just had like soft-sided suitcases because it didn't take much back and forth. But once you start doing international travel and you want to bring souvenirs and things back, it becomes a lot more important to have those really heavy, hard-sided. Whoa! Hard-sided suitcases. All right, let's do this. And try to take this out. We'll see how that works. Yeah, I can't believe how much weight limitations have changed. Remember in the late 90s, whoops. It was twice as much as you can carry now, which is ridiculous. Because you're still paying a lot. You're actually paying more. There was a lot more discounted airfare back then. Well, that was the pre 9/11. Whoa. Fake, fuel fees that everyone was subjected to. Maybe I'll do these as metal. Make it visually a little more interesting. Yeah, same with that. All right. There we go. Oh, I'm wondering, did I really screw up the timing for the stream this week? It's funny. Or maybe Hyphonics is doing something awesome that this isn't going to compete with. This slow drawing of luggage won't be distracting anybody. All right. Oh, maybe that seam too. That's another kind of classic old luggage thing, is that metal seam all the way around. Yeah, that looks like, very much looks like weird 60s luggage. Like old Samsonite. Alright. No, that doesn't contrast very well. Alright. Let's try a little render. It'll be so depressing if this is a technical thing that I'm not going to be able to remedy. Who knows? Yeah, this is the thing I noticed, like doing early kind of search engine optimization and promotion for things on the internet, is it makes you very paranoid, because you really don't have any idea why things are doing what they're doing, and you just get suspicious of, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And that's even more pervasive in the kind of live streaming YouTube era. People don't have any feedback unless they get some very specific notification. They don't have any feedback about why things are the way that they are on their channels or on their streams or whatever. So it's very odd, and it just makes people really paranoid. Oops. But I remember that. I remember the very beginning of that, and wondering, what did I do wrong that's causing the weird situation. And it's still a thing. Oh, I just saw some odd statement that Google released about they're going to stop providing third-party support for kind of violating your privacy and data tracking, and basically cookies. Third-party cookies are going to be no longer a thing with Google. Of course, for their platform, anytime you're logged into your Google account, they will be tracking you 100%, but they're not going to let third parties do it. And they're trying to portray that as benevolent. Benevolent Google cares about your privacy. It's probably, though, them running up against resistance in the EU, and people like finally starting to realize how valuable that information is that they're stealing constantly. So they're not going to stop stealing it, but they're going to let people, or they're going to stop people that paid them for access to that from having that. That's not going to be a thing they can buy anymore. Of course, it doesn't stop third parties from still trying to harvest that by any means necessary. So they'll be, it just, their API will actually try to resist that a little bit more. So then only Google will have access to that. Only Google will profit from your information because you've agreed to their abuses. So I think it's just a very uncompetitive thing. But, the announcement, or the analysis of the announcement said, it's going to turn online advertising on its head, and that's a big revenue stream from Google, but I don't think it's going to have the effect they think it does. It's just going to cement Google's, dominance in data collection and not let anybody else even touch a piece of that. Am I making these too shiny? No, it kind of works. Shiny luggage. All right. Shiny new luggage. Yeah, maybe that'll be the joke. New luggage had no idea what awaited it. The hands of baggage handlers. Yeah, I've always been shocked by how a single trip just completely de-virginizes your luggage. It's completely thrashed, covered with oil stains and everything so quickly. And I think that's why they've moved away from, fabric. Hey, random dude. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Yeah, I think I'll make that a new luggage gag. Thanks for the feedback. Much appreciated. All right. Oh yeah, so that was just a weird announcement, and you never can tell, or you never can trust interpretations of these things anyhow. I think a lot of people talking about big data and what companies are doing to violate your privacy and things they don't really understand. Well, just like that Netflix thing about what's going on online. It was weirdly naive and weirdly kind of worshipping the put some eyes down here, worshipping the genius of the creators of Facebook and other social media. They're tapping into the psychology and making you do things and you don't even understand why, and that is, I think, a huge overestimation about what the threat is of social media platforms. Yeah, I was thinking about, I'll probably bring this up on the weekly episode tomorrow for on the Idle Red Hands channel, but I was thinking very much about a thing that's really common in the role-playing communities now, especially like Dungeons and Dragons, is actual plays, like people filming themselves playing these games, and they're very nerdy games and very you're just doing kind of silly things. You're trying to manipulate the narrative of what's going on, and then things are decided by dice, but you can manipulate situations a lot, just kind of improvising conversations between characters. And so people say and do a lot of weird things to try to create certain atmospheres, or to depict characters in a certain way. But so they're just being stupid, and a lot of people drink while they're playing these games, and you're live streaming it, and we don't even think about it anymore. But and it's very ironic that I'm trying to express this or say this on a live stream, but filming yourself that constantly, and we're not meant to have that. Like, I don't think we're ready or accept like what that actually means. And if you're going to scrutinize everything somebody says and everything somebody does while they're doing something on video, on a live stream, on YouTube, on Twitch, as behavior that has to be socially acceptable and has to be within certain parameters of ethical and moral, their values are displayed in everything they do. I think it's a really big ask. I think that's really insane, and we're not quite to that point where we even understand how that works or how you deal with that much on online time, that much of broadcasting of yourself. Because if you think about previously, television was the only way that you would be sent to any sort of larger audience. And so people jumping around and, behind news reporters at, accident scenes, or when they're reporting, remotely, was, how most people got, exposure to anything, beyond their small community. But now it's, you can broadcast yourself and kind of be making permanent archives of all kinds of weird behavior and all kinds of, weird things that you're saying and doing. And I don't think we quite know how to think about that and how to treat that. And I don't think it's a very natural thing to do. I think it's a little odd. It may have done a lot. I mean, I think there's definitely, hey, Cat Queen, how's it going? There may be a lot of benefit as far as, isolation and loneliness, especially during these like lockdown times and things. I've really appreciated having this as an outlet, having, anything that I'm doing with YouTube as an outlet to kind of focus my energies on and not feel like, what's next, are things going to ever be back to normal? So to have a little bit of connection and interaction outside yourself, which is previously basically the domain of like shortwave radio, or I mean, if you think pre-internet, the range of your communication is insanely limited. And now we have these huge platforms that you can basically sit 24 hours live, which is what they did at the very beginning. If you remember some of those strange cam girl or web cam girl things where they set up, very different from how it is now, but where they set up cameras in a house and just 24 hours a day, like, like more security camera style, monitored people, and then you could check in on them in a very, kind of limited way. But that was the first instinct to do that, just 24 hour broadcasting. But I think it's the weird ways that we're judging people, in the weird ways that we don't quite understand how that much exposure to a single person or part of, into somebody's life is that's pretty extreme. And so there's people that have gotten themselves into trouble for things that they've done online, but I don't think they really, they don't really have it kind of fixed in their head what they're doing, because it's very easy to forget that webcams are so tiny and inobtrusive, like that you notice them very well, very, very much after a while, and you can just start ignoring it and kind of functioning as if you're not being observed. And that's very strange and very different from how it's ever been. So just, people that are, getting canceled or being attacked for stuff they've done on live streams is very strange, because I don't really think we understand even how to think about that yet, because you can't, like when you're face to face with someone, socially you behave very different, and you're reacting to, visual cues and expression and kind of tone of voice and things with them. And broadcasting is totally different because it lacks nothing. Hey, random dude. Hey, K5, how's it going? Yeah, so, things have moved so fast, and just because you can, should you? And that's how I've always felt about this live stream. If you look at the very early ones, I think I should have stopped at that very idea, because, you'll notice the webcam is behind me. I'm talking this way. You can't hear anything. You mostly hear the air conditioning. But I didn't have any idea how to capture what I was drawing. So things have, I figured things out a little bit more, but it's, I don't know. I think you have to have kind of a clearer, everybody has to have a clearer idea of what this is. And it'll be too late, because I think before we figure out like what the individual and what benefit this is to connecting with people in this way, it's going to be kind of claimed by corporate interests, and you're going to have to sign a contract or have a license, or it's going to be restricted in a way where there is no more of this freedom. And before we've really figured out the potential of so freely connecting with each other, in this way, it's going to be kind of clamped down, and they're going to say, oh, you want that again? Would you like access to these people? Well, now you have to pay, and now they have to pay to use the platform, and who knows. But yeah, so that was just a topic that's going to come up maybe tomorrow a little bit. I don't know how eloquent I'm going to be, and it's only it's like a short kind of 30-minute discussion. So I don't know if I'll get anywhere with that. But yeah, we just don't even think about like how open and beyond anything we can, really think about in like previous media terms. Like when you think about the old way, I still laugh now when like there's like 90s pop songs, or even kind of like agit-prop kind of, posters and stickers and stuff that, people post on streets about, TV, the revolution will be televised, and all of this, like, TV is melting your mind, and the negative effects on TV. I mean, TV is what Babytown frolics. It's a very immature, ineffectual medium compared to what we're dealing with now. So yeah, I don't know. It's a interesting thing, and we're just figuring it out, and hopefully we'll get somewhere with it before it's taken away and made more profitable to other people. All right. Wow, so that is that. So we've got luggage and sandwiches, sacked lunches, and shiny luggage. All right, so let's just take a look at comments. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, comments from last week. Hopefully everything went up okay. It looks like I see egg salad, so I think we should be good. Let's switch this around. All right. Oh yeah, I've got white, white on white. All right. So here was last week. So this was what, March 2nd? Yeah, 15 likes. Nice. Those aren't Sedona numbers, but still pretty good. 2 comments. Never being a sandwich was a fate worse than egg salad. Never say never. I've got some peanut butter here. Nice. Ed. Never eat a gas station vending machine egg salad sandwich. That green stuff is not garnish. Yeah, that's the hard-boiled eggs, kind of like, I don't know what that is, but you know how you get that kind of green layer of the yolk? I guess that's like some kind of sulfur reaction or something in the boiling process. But yeah, the greenness that lingers on hard-boiled eggs. I've never had any luck with egg salad. All right, and let's go back. February 25th. Ah, that's right. The Lunchables. Wow, people. Okay, let's see if people even know what I was trying to depict here, because this is obviously supposed to be some panini, and this is a panini maker, and these are supposed to be Lunchables. The journey to find their maker led only to hot Italian sandwiches. Another 15. It's probably the exact same 15. I'm liking it. All right, let's see if people do. Yeah, I don't know if people can exactly get what's going on. It do. Check the campgrounds next. Look for a long tall pudgy pie maker. Pudgy pies. Did it lead to anything good still? Yeah, I think the Lunchables may have been missed. The same kind of, pocket sandwich. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, K5. Yeah, AI, I think, is going to be, is really going to disrupt things, because, you know, it's so hard to find, like a thing that crosses audiences and, creates a big effect pop culture wise. So they may, instead of paying like unionized writers and stuff to to come up with things, and then testing those, they may just let AI do it and try to find new genres and new markets by just letting, because somebody was reading, there was like a cast reading, it was just some maybe some, I'm not sure if they were a YouTube group or like an RPG group or something, but there had been a just putting in the text of the three sequel trilogy movies. They had AI software, probably pretty simple software, write another screenplay based on the content of those previous movies, and it was really ridiculous. But it wasn't very sophisticated AI. But once it gets much more much more sophisticated as analyzing and kind of spitting things back out, because think about how much data and how much you have Tumblr and Reddit and all of these boards that it can just harvest opinions, and so many people like throw out there, well, I would have done this, or if I made this movie, or if in my version of this TV show or my version of this lore or canon for some setting, I would have done this, I would have done this. And so people are just kind of throwing it out there, and that's all data that can be harvested. Everyone's they're gonna have to learn to code. All those screenwriters. But I think there's still going to have to be like polish, because AI, I think, is still going to be, it's going to have the same thing with like computer graphics. There'll be an uncanny valley with AI developed text where a human didn't think of this. Like, it didn't come out in a way that a person speaks or a person thinks or a person tells a story. So they're probably going to have to be, they'll generate this stuff, and they'll have to be kind of cleanup artists or cleanup writers that will kind of refine it and smooth off the highly artifact jagged edges of the computer process. So it's an interesting point though. But who wants that? I mean, the thing that's the nightmare for me of AI produced software is if it can happen dynamically. If it can start to produce something almost instantaneously, so it reacts to how you're reacting to things. So the worst part of it, instead of media and entertainment bringing people together and having a shared experience that people can then discuss, and it reflects current culture and everything, instead of that happening, it's going to become even more kind of granular and pinpointed at what you want to see. How do you want this TV show to proceed? How do you want this to progress? And if they can use AI to, alter things, and you're not even looking at performers anymore, you're just looking at basically, CG, maps on CG models of like famous people, then it's going to be really strange. Like, you could get exactly the story that you want in your own little weird narcissistic, interpretation of what should happen, and they'll give it to you. If you'll pay for it, they'll sell that to you. That's going to be really. I think that's the worst possible outcome for that, is them to really focus on tailor made specifically for you, exactly what you want things to look like, how you want things to happen. Because once you get that inside, you're not sharing anything. That's the only benefit that movies and television really have, is they kind of link us together and give us something in common that we can discuss, that we used to just have from our common experience, like things like all being suffering from the same weather, the same seasonal temperatures, the same flus and colds and stuff. We all had shared experiences. And if you start to isolate that even more, especially with us all working at home from now on anyhow, I can't imagine what that could be like. You're just in your little cell, in your little entertainment world, and you have nothing to even relate to other people with. There's nothing. You haven't even watched the same story being told in your life, so there's nothing. So that's very strange. I can't imagine that being kind of like in your own little like weird regurgitated prison. Like, they'll give you things back to you. That there's that's a thing we should do someday, a film we should do someday. And the movie club is Until the End of the World, the Wim Wenders movie. It's a really long film, but the end of it, like the world ends. There's a satellite that falls back down to Earth, creates this EMP pulse that just basically wipes out all circuitry, all technology, and so the only thing that still exists, or one of the few things that still exists, is in this underground laboratory in Australia. They still have technology that they were working on to help blind people see. So they were trying to tap into how your mind, how images are depicted in your brain, and like, how your optical nerve interprets images and then sends that to your brain. So the scientist was trying to let his blind wife see by using this technology to create artificial, to have a camera actually talk directly to your brain. So those are basically artificial eyes. But what they stumbled onto is this could also record your dreams. So when you were sleeping, the images that you saw could be actually recorded and turned into some very low resolution, very grainy video, but it was your dream. It was what you saw last night in your head. And so the loop that everyone gets stuck in at the end of this is, so the world is kind of ended and they don't know how things are going to start to come back, but they have this technology that you can record your dreams every night. So you record your dreams and then you spend all day watching what you dreamed about the night before. And so you're just kind of this prisoner of your own, kind of obsessions and fantasies and everything. And I think that's a really good, metaphor for the nightmare we could get ourselves into if like entertainment and everything is so focused down into exactly what we want. We shouldn't always get exactly what we want, because that gives us shared grievances. We have something to complain about then with other people. But I love that part of the film where it comes down to that, and you really realize if that's possible, people would just completely turn on themselves, turn in on themselves, and sleep and then watch what they dreamed, after every night's sleep. So yeah, very, very sad. All right. Oh, hey, some empty. AI dungeon. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine that. Yeah, I saw somebody was doing a kind of a 3D. It looked like they were using like the same kind of what's that called, the where it's kind of a randomly generated like 3D setting to just produce these low polygon rooms for dungeons. In playing a role-playing game, you could just choose what kind of room it was, and then it would populate it with like a fireplace and a table and chairs, or a furnace and an anvil and a workbench and things. And you kind of shift those things around, but you could just like on the fly produce these original rooms of these if you're like exploring a dungeon or something. So that's interesting. Yeah, a story generator that just kind of reacts. Yeah, and if you find a good way to for people to give input while they're following something, yeah, that would be really interesting to see. Yeah, I'll look that up. I'm curious about AI Dungeon. Wow. Oh, hey, K5. Yeah. No, I don't know anything about 3D scanners. I've seen some. I mean, there's some cheaper, like low resolution scanners. I think to do anything decent, it's pretty expensive, and it's probably better if you have a project to like take it to somebody that has a professional scanner and have them scan it. And still, you'll need to clean it up. I don't think, regardless of the resolution, I still think 3D scanners need some like a CG artist to clean stuff up, because they aren't perfect, just like a Xerox machine or whatever. But yeah, no, I don't know much. I know there's cheap stuff that there's cheaper like consumer grade kind of things that can roughly give you shapes and things. It's a good kind of starting point for modeling stuff in 3D for printing. Because I saw some guys that did some old war game pieces. They 3D scanned those and cleaned those up, but I'm not sure if they did it themselves or like had things professionally scanned. Nice. Yeah. Recording dreams is crazy. Yeah, but check out Until the End of the World, the Wim Wenders movie. William Hurt's in it, and a lot of international actors. And the movie itself is in several languages because it's a European production, and the director's German. But yeah, that's one of my favorite movies, and I love that the whole way that the story is told, and then how it ends in that yeah, kind of obsession. That self obsession is really good. Yeah, I have to see. I'm not sure. Aside from Criterion Channel, I'm not sure where else you could see that movie though. So it might not be a good film club discussion. All right. Oh, we're still doing comments. Let's try a few random while I'm still. All right, frozen pizzas. Frozen mini pizzas and flat diet cola were as much a cry for help as they were an actual meal. Flat, it looks round to me. Nice. 5 years ago. This is the comments. Oh, wow. A lot more. Yeah, a lot more comments than I thought. But they sure are cheap. Well, if you're in a hurry, you grab whatever is available. Nice. All right, 2011. A necktie had the dual message of love and find a job. Bacon tie. Oh, yeah. Yes, it's very bacon in its color scheme. Where's the love? Nice. Oh, nice. Pink lemonade. Here we go. He had very little confidence in his ability to provide refills. Oh, no. 2015. The wrong choice could result in an upsetting amount of pulp. Oh, yeah, I like how that doesn't exist anywhere. Well, I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but that seems like such an American thing where you have no pulp, some pulp, a lot of pulp. I think there was a joke on The Sopranos that, yeah, Tony got a phone thrown at him, a cordless phone, because he's like, I like some pulp. This says a lot of pulp. And his wife chucked the cordless phone at his head. But that's, yeah, very American. That's why I make sure it says no pulp before I buy it. Sludges through her OJ. There's nothing wrong with pulp. Exactly. That's where you go half and half. Nice. Then I have to fill her bedside cups with, and I have to blow out the sludge that cakes on the inside of the bottom of the glass. Yikes. Yeah, I guess a lot of pulp stuck to the inside of your glass is pretty disgusting. Oh, look at this. The Gumballs felt comfortable or comforted by the presence of a super ball among them. Super balls. Look at that. Wow. 10 likes off a reference to super balls. I find that hard to swallow. All right. Oh, this is just finished. Oh, that's Yum Cola. That's right. Nice. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. K5. Oh, great. I'm glad you saw it. Yeah, I should have identified myself. I did in his Instagram. I left a note. I posted those images and left a note in the Instagram. But oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm glad he saw those. Yeah, some nice comments about them. So that was nice. All right. Milk and cookies, yes. Coffee and cookies, yes. Tea and cookies. Coke and cookies, no. Oh, and here's the hockey poet. All right. One more. Let's see if we can get out of this decade. Oh, there we go. 2009. There's a marker cartoon if ever I saw one. With one lonely like. He couldn't believe that after only one cup of tea, he was completely spent. I should have made this a little lighter to show the weakness. Nice. Oh, another oldie. There were so many less disgusting things he would rather be absorbing. All right. yeah, the character has definitely changed of the cartoon. The earlier one was very uncomfortable looking in the in how it was drawn, because it just, like, however it came off the marker, that's how it stayed. So you'll notice now I'm doing a lot of, I'll draw something, undo, and kind of redraw it. I leave things wonky looking, but I fix the kind of line widths and stuff. But older stuff was definitely not that way. All right, so let's go back to this. Nice. Oh, that's cool. No, I'm happy that Hyphonic saw that. That was a fun thing to do. And thanks again for asking me to do that logo, because that inspired all of that art. Yeah, and I'll keep watching his channel, and if anything else is inspiring, I really like the scare stuff. There's like breaking into people's video chats is pretty effective, and gets a lot of good faces for thumbnails and stuff. There's people that really get freaked out. So yeah, but I like that. I like the scary wireframe mustache and wireframe glasses look with the yeah, deep set eyes. I think that looks really good for a character. All right, so I guess we'll do a little bit of writing, and then I'll give us all the rest of the time that we can manage to talk movies. Yeah, and if was it Rev last week that suggested Knives Out? Yeah, so I hope this doesn't yeah, we don't miss the recommender when we're doing the movie talk. But you never know from week to week. I understand schedules are unpredictable. Look how unpredictably I stream. Yeah, but if it's fun, if the movie stuff is fun, we could make it its own live stream too. That would be good. All right. So I'm thinking that this is new luggage, and it's awaiting a horrible baggage handling situation. So shiny new luggage had no idea, or had no clue. So abuse by baggage handler. So luggage and baggage. Ugh. I don't think that's very interesting. So let's see. Yeah, so something about pristine or untouched luggage. Oh yeah, I'll be on for a while still. Oh hey, yes, some empty friend, cool. Some empty friend, thank you. Yes, that is what we're gonna do. Yeah, so I had a chance to see the movie, so yeah, we'll do a little segment talking about that. Yeah, sorry, I could have just checked last week's, but yeah, no, I appreciate your recommendation. Ah, yeah, yeah. Yes, bright and shiny, especially in Japan. People have really crazy. I mean, and because they're such dedicated tourists, I think, but people have really crazy luggage, and there's so many like weird metallic coatings and things now. There's really insane, kind of those big clamshell. They're almost like a trunk. They're those big roller clamshell cases, but the colors and materials on those now are getting really insane and super lightweight. Like they're big, but they're really lightweight because of as baggage weight limits get smaller, they you don't want to give up so much of that for your the actual bag itself. All right. So maybe not shiny new luggage, just new luggage. So yeah, something about its fate or how it was going to come out on the other end. Uh, trauma, the trauma of baggage handling. So awaited its fate, awaited the unknown trauma of baggage handling. Unknown trauma, I wanted to get across they're innocent. And they have no idea what they're in for. New luggage awaited maybe not unknown, is there something better than unknown? Unexpected? Not mysterious. Yeah, something. Yeah, unknown isn't mysterious and kind of weird enough. Unimagined? Unimagined is closer. Unimaginable? And trauma. The unimaginable effect, or the unimaginable consequences. Something like that. All right. Yeah, consequences. Something along those lines. Trauma is... Okay, there might be something funnier, though. The new luggage awaited the unimaginable... or maybe something about there was... Yeah, like life. They soon they would not remember their life before baggage handling. Like that's going to be the event, what do they call that? The pivotal moment in all of their baggage lives that means they're not they're not new anymore. They would forever forget that they were once new. It's getting a little too complex. Let's see. New luggage awaited the unimaginable trauma of baggage handling. That's close. Aftermath? No, it's not really a period after, it's forever. So after this moment, or soon after. There's something about the state of new luggage. So they would be... So baggage handling would take from them every memory of them being new luggage. It's getting darker and darker. Yeah, that idea though, after this particular moment, there's no going back, and it's never Never going to be the same again. Something about losing its newness. So the process of no longer being new luggage, so being taken away. So trauma of baggage handling. They would soon know. Would soon know. How about just the irreversible effects? Irreversible. Break it up into 2 lines. Of course, the longest line. There we go. New luggage would soon know the irreversible effects of baggage handling. Yeah, that gets across the before and after. Maybe brand new luggage would soon know, maybe feel the effects is funnier for just cases, empty cases. Yeah. Maybe brand new. Brand new luggage would soon feel the irreversible effects of baggage handling. That's the idea. It's not that. That's a little clumsy, but so that's the idea. Are there better words for that? Brand new luggage would soon feel the irreversible effects of baggage handling. It's close enough. There aren't any like funny phrases or anything in there that I usually like a really odd or just words that sound funny on their own, but I think it works. The brand new luggage. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, well let's come back to that and see how it feels in a minute. Right. So they were suspicious of the apple. All right. Only the apple could have done, committed this sandwich mashing. So the suspicion of the apple's involvement in the mashed sandwich. Mashed sandwich sounds funny. So that's one of those things, those phrases that I want to have in there because they're just a combination of words sounds funny. That's the other one didn't have anything. I thought trauma of baggage handling, but that's not funny enough, or doesn't have a silly. But mashed sandwich sounds funny. All right. Pled innocent, or played innocent. Maybe played innocent. Any involvement. Sandwich mashing. Pleaded, not pleaded, or whoops. What is it? Proclaimed their innocence. What is it? Professed. I'll give him a gender. His innocence. incident. The apple professed. Let me make sure I'm using that word correctly. So I'm assuming it means to like declare, to claim openly. But often falsely. The apple professed his innocence in the, again, it's not going to fit, in the mashed sandwich incident. The apple professed his innocence in the mashed sandwich incident, and the paper bags were not listening. All right. Something like that. I think that's close. The obvious perpetrator. The apple professed his innocence in the mashed sandwich incident. All right. Is that still... Let's see here. A little less shadow. Not that that makes any difference, but it does to me. Oh, wait. Okay. Huh. Oh, that's in the chat. Yeah, my transparent chat looks terrible against white. Oh, and that's green screen. Wait, that's this. That's there we go. That's interruption in the green screen. That's not on my file. Oh, and again, I still want to, oops, move everything. Yeah, it just doesn't feel very centered. There we go. So the apple professed his innocence in the mashed sandwich incident. So mashed sandwich is good to have in there. Brand new luggage would soon feel the irreversible effects of baggage handling. Is there something funnier to say than baggage handling? So what are the baggage handlers? Yeah, there's nothing to... yeah, I don't want to lean too heavily into like... yeah, something... the effects, yeah, being anything weirdly violent or sexual or anything. So I think just irreversible effects is good. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. So, yeah, both of those seem to be... Well, let me, while I'm here and doing this, just do a quick spell check. Just in case my... the only word that I ever was caught in Photoshop spell check, but it still made me want to do it every single time, was against. I put an extra I in against once in a banner ad when I was like doing like web advertisements and stuff in a banner ad, and heard all kinds of anger from the client, but it looked right. It totally looked right with that extra I in there. But yeah, there's only one I in against. So from then on, I've always, yeah, double checked myself just in case. And sometimes just, yeah, typos sneak in there. And it's so funny how we read like shapes of words, and sometimes if there's two letters transposed, you just read through it and it looks correct, so you don't catch your misspelling sometimes. All right. The apple professed his innocence in the mashed sandwich incident, and there is a period there. And then brand new luggage would soon feel the irreversible effects of baggage handling. Okay. That works. So look at that. A recorded action does all my resizing for me. And then I can just put this into the into the file. Yeah, I've stopped doing the, I had like a little PHP script that was doing the strips on my website, but recently I've just relied on the Go Comics to be my only archive. These guys, they do a nice presentation, and they're taking care of me nicely, so I don't want to compete with that. Let them get their ad revenue. All right, the emptiness of unused Photoshop. All right, so I think we're about ready to talk about some movies. Let me just upload these while I'm thinking about them, because if I do it before 5 o'clock, then they go up on the day, which is always nice. Okay. Sorry. Just a second while I stumble through. There it goes. Finding the right directory. All right. Yeah, K5, let me know. Hey, Rev, how's it going? Let me know when you're back. K5, but I'll be on. Yeah, I'll be on for a while, so we'll catch up again. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it was weird for a while. I can't remember when that happened. I think that happened with my kind of garbage internet, my line of sight internet, when I was living outside of Chicago, where I was like only partial files were transmitting. So they were complaining, like they would get these like half files on the FTP, and it was just because there'd be some weird interruption with that. I think it's like a radio signal or something. If it's line of sight, it's like a radio signal. So there's some weird rural internet technology that did not work consistently. Okay. So those are all uploaded. So let me see if I can make this work here. All right, so I wanted to put some applause or some music or something at the beginning of this. So I haven't done that yet, but I will do that soon. So let's let's see how this goes. So it's time for the first episode of the Abuse Film Club here. And some empty friend recommended Knives Out. So thank you very much. And that is... Whoa, look at that. That is our first... Oh, the curtains will go away here eventually. That it will be the first... There we go. The first film we'll talk about. So I'll just run the trailer on a loop in the background, and hopefully we won't get dinged. There'll be enough stuff over them. So it's muted. But yeah, this is one of the longer... I think this is the second trailer released for Knives Out. So, a Rian Johnson film from, 2019? I should get some IMDb going so I don't make too big a fool of myself here. All right. Right, so 2019. So this film actually won, or Rian Johnson won for Best Screenplay, Best Original Screenplay, I think, at the Oscars that year. So he's a decent writer. So, I don't think Disney Star Wars was wrong in, thinking that he could handle an interesting kind of next step or an updating in Star Wars. I mean, I really think that there was like legitimate good thinking and goodwill in what they were doing. It's just the timing of it was so weird. So I'm talking about Last Jedi, and so the doing that, trying to subvert expectations and kind of bring Star Wars into a more postmodern, more like less mythical, more what's the opposite of that? Allegorical kind of storytelling. It needed to happen. It definitely needs to happen. And I think there's been some really good video essays about that, about how Star Wars as myth, as like original 70s and 80s, Star Wars doesn't work anymore because people want to see themselves. They don't want to see these idealized or these, good versus evil, in the same ways that maybe it was more comforting in the 70s. So they asked Rian Johnson to write, and I mean completely write and direct, the second Disney Star Wars sequel. And for me, it was a miserable, miserable film going experience because up until then they'd done really predictable things. They've kind of spoon fed this weird nostalgia, and they brought everybody back, and Harrison Ford is saying, "Chewie, we're home," and all this real pandering kind of remember this, remember this, remember this, which George Lucas has even said he didn't want to do that. That they told him that Disney told him that was their plan. He said, "I don't want to do that. Here's my ideas," and of course they threw those away. But I won't go into too much more about Star Wars. But the prequel trilogies, the episodes 1, 2, and 3, I think George Lucas was already doing that. Like he was starting to make like direct equivalents, and like it was influenced by like the Gulf War, like Bush Jr.'s presidency and things. Like he made like specific kind of references that he felt were specific to what was going on in the world in the late 90s, early 2000s. And so he was already moving Star Wars away from myth. It wasn't a mythical story anymore. He was trying to tell backstory and fill in kind of the origin of Darth Vader and everything, but he had already changed it. So it makes sense that after their first kind of nostalgia resetting, that it needed to move forward. But it should have moved forward after they finished a trilogy of just remember this, remember this, remember this, and just be done with it, and kind of just let the old fans just kind of realize things are never going to be the same again, and just like kind of let go of that universe and kind of reset it for new fans. And I think Rian Johnson would have been a good person to head that. But the way that they did the second movie, all of a sudden having this really strange tone, the really flat humor that didn't land, like all of the humor in that was really odd and really stilted, and having very strange, like de-emphasizing some characters, like Flynn got pushed into the background, and bringing these like new characters out that you didn't really have any connection to or understanding like how they fit in, was really bizarre. So I had a lot of bad feelings. I saw Looper. I haven't seen Brick, but I saw Looper, and so I knew he could competently tell a story. Although time travel stories are kind of not a good thing to try to do, because you're always coming up with those paradoxes. But I enjoyed the storytelling of Looper, and so knew he could write. And so Knives Out. So this is after, of course, the kind of divisiveness of him doing Star Wars. And so I just completely resisted this, and but was convinced, to take a look at it. So some empty friend, I think, recommended this last time when we were talking. Nice. When we were talking about. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll have to see. Yeah, I'll have to find a good source for Brick. So I haven't seen Brick, which I think was his first like big film, or his first more major release film. So Knives Out is to just kind of set the story up a little bit. So the kind of patriarch of a family, a famous, I think he's a mystery writer. Yeah, he's a mystery writer. So I can actually maybe even give him a name. So the kind of patriarch of the family, Harlan Thrombey, whose success at writing mystery novels kind of supports this entire family. So you see in the beginning, they start showing you this house with very eclectic, kind of odd decor, some like antique toys, and just a very odd interior design. And you go up, and right away it's they reveal very soon that he's dead. He's dead on his little settee or whatever is the little kind of sofa in his study, like his attic study. He is dead in that room, and so the rest of the film proceeds as a whodunit, with all of the kind of characters of the story coming in, and they do a really good job because there's a lot of characters. The family members are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there are 10 kind of family members and employees that you have to keep straight from the very beginning. So right away you got Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. I think he's supposed to be doing a New Orleans accent, or at least a Southern accent, and that's one thing I wasn't. We'll talk about in a little bit. Yeah, but Benoit Blanc. And so he is a private detective, and you see him kind of in the shadows. He's like just sitting in the background while the police are interviewing family members one at a time. And then he slowly kind of steps forward and starts to, try to pit the family members against each other and have them kind of confess their secrets so they can get closer to what's going on in the death of the father. And so, sorry. And so they introduce all of the characters, and the cast is amazing. It's really surprising. So it's Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, so Captain America, Ana de Armas. So you've seen her; she was in Blade Runner. She was like Joy in Blade Runner. She's been in a lot of other stuff. Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Toni Collette, Christopher Plummer plays the patriarch Harlan Thrombey. Catherine Langford is the girl from 13 Reasons Why. And but just a lot, and Frank Oz, that was a great surprise. So the attorney that handles the reading of the will is Frank Oz, and right away I'm like, he looks so familiar. I mean, he's much older now, but yeah, it's Frank Oz that reads the will. But it's an insane cast, like really talented and interesting, like so recognizable, interesting actor. So it makes it very fun, and they all play their parts really well. Like they're not. It's a very ensemble, like about 10 characters that are involved in basically this whodunit. So you start right away the death of the person that's basically funding this entire family. Like one of the sons is running the publishing company, and so there's everybody is kind of having their own success, but it's all based on money that came from Harlan to support everybody. And so everyone's got their interest in this money. And so now that he's dead, they're like, okay, so what do we get? How's this gonna shake out? And the police are already investigating. So I can't remember if they immediately say it was a suicide and then there slowly becomes suspicion that there's not. But very quickly, the story starts to center on Marta, which is the Ana de Armas character. And she is the nurse that has taken care of Harlan, in his declining health, and but had become very friendly with him. It was more of a she says more of a friendship or a companion more than a nurse. So she just like kept him company more than took care of him. Took care of herself or himself, and so it really quickly shifts to her, and she's so different and so like just sweet and normal compared to the rest of the family. So already you feel the rest of the family as they start to talk about each other and kind of kind of break down the myth of this family's wealth and success, and you find that everything relies on just this which is a little bit unrealistic. I don't think there has ever existed. I mean, I don't even think like Joan Collins or Sue Grafton or any of these people that have these best-selling authors that have written these constantly successful books. I don't think they could support an entire extended family with that wealth. It would take a tremendous amount of wealth. So it's a little bit of an exaggeration. But the thing that's done well is everything that's referenced, all of these little clues that are in the story as the family members are talking about each other, it's all paid off. So it's very satisfying in the way that it's written, because everything that's referenced will show up again, and that was really satisfying. So it's a classic kind of whodunit, and you want to know how this how did the family died, whether it was suicide, whether there was whether it was murder. So they start this like process of investigation, and very quickly you get Marta's version. I guess I want to be careful with like totally spoiling this, because this is one of those movies that you may not be able to watch again after everything is spoiled. So I won't completely spoil things, but kind of talk about you focus very quickly on Marta, and you see what happened. You see, like, from her perspective, the events of that evening. And so then they start to, from the other family members' accounts, put things together. And of course, the Daniel Craig detective is, putting these pieces together. Okay, so you were doing this, and the stairs up to his study make a lot of noise. So we know how many times, people's sleep was disturbed and people heard those stairs creaking. So putting all the events together. So quickly focuses on her and her experience of what happened, and which is very interesting. It was a very different idea. So instantly she's pitted against the family because she had experience of that evening's events, even though we later find out that she didn't quite see things clearly. She didn't 100% have the total picture of what was going on. So as things kind of progress, it gets a little wilder, and they show. I think the Chris Evans character Ransom is kind of the rebellious, kind of fail son, spending all the just living off of the family's money and doing nothing. And so right away they set him up to be to be very unlikable, and he's laughing his way through the reading of the will, because what happens at the reading of the will is that the family finds out everything goes to Marta, the nurse. And so immediately, so we had already had them kind of pitted against each other in the story, and right away now they are directly opposed to each other because she now controls the entire wealth that everyone in that family is living off of. And so then there's a tremendous pressure, and everything is like, moving against her to try to. So all the family members are basically saying, you have to, you have to reject this. You have to reject this. You can't accept this wealth. You can't accept everything. This is our family. This is our blood. And then it starts to, get a little racial, or a little, I'm trying to think, the kind of prejudices, and they've had in some of the setting, they've had a little bit of political discussion, so it kind of sets up who's liberal and who's conservative, and so immediately it starts to bring up, well, she is Latino, she's I forget. That's that the reason I forget is because none of them know her country of origin. So they say she's from Panama, she's from Argentina. Like everybody says, oh yeah, because she's from this country, and so nobody knows where she's really from in the family, kind of proving how little they know her. And but immediately then they start to pit that, they start to separate those things out, and you see the family is terrible because they're going to use the fact that her mother is in the country illegally as kind of pressure to have her, release the, relinquish the results of the will. And let's see. So I don't want to go too far into spoiling stories. It's so things shift really well, and very early on they put you on the side of Marta, so you're not following each of the characters and like their perceptions of the story. You just have their one accounts and kind of how those fit together, and then you have then you're on Marta's side basically for the rest of it. And once you see the events that she saw, you're like, wow, how is this going to play out? And it seems like she is going to be blamed for the death that will then, according to the, the Slayer clause, mean that she cannot benefit from the will. She cannot inherit anything if she was involved in the death of Harlan. And so I can't do anything beyond that without spoiling things, I think. So the performances are amazing. And the Toni Collette character is very funny. She's the, I think, ex-wife of someone. So she's not connected to the family by blood. I think her husband died, or how she was connected to the family had been severed, but she's still supported because Harlan still wants to support his granddaughter's university. And she's kind of playing a Gwyneth Paltrow kind of parody. So she has some lifestyle, cosmetics and living kind of, whatever, I don't know, like a website and a company, and the way that it sounds very much like Goop. Like she's really, it feels very much like she's playing that kind of character, but it's not like a direct parody. They just kind of suggest, and she isn't like doing an impersonation of Gwyneth Paltrow. She's being like kind of her own character. And so the thing that makes the Daniel Craig accent not work as well is how good Toni Collette's American accent is. So I think she's the only, Christopher Plummer I think is British, so you don't really notice any other way his accent, but I think she's the only person doing an accent other than her natural speaking voice, and she's so good. Like, if you've seen her in Hereditary, or Sixth Sense, Sixth Sense, or anything, or she just plays an American mother. Like, her accent is flawless, and you never think about her being Australian. And the same thing cannot be said for Daniel Craig. So those accents, especially Southern accents, are kind of for Americans, and this may not make as much sense for like maybe Canadians or other English speaking countries, but that Southern accent is kind of warm and charming, and has it has a quality to it that kind of brings you in. And if you don't do it perfectly, it makes you a little bit more ridiculous and a little bit more of a cartoon character. And I guess they kind of play that up. He's kind of an odd, not very good private detective in some ways, but that accent, especially when he has to kind of really emote, or it kind of comes and goes, and it kind of flattens into just an American accent, and so that kind of stuff is always a little distracting, because when you have someone doing like Tommy Lee Jones in No Country for Old Men, when he's doing his original Texas accent, it's so good and so charming, and it kind of brings you into that character, because it it just has that quality. Sorry. So it works okay, and I like the line Chris Evans calls him CSI KFC. Oh, hey, Yum, how's it going? So we're doing, sorry, this is the move. So welcome, everybody that's just tuned in. You are in the middle of the Abuse Film Club presentation of Knives Out. So this was Some Empty Friends recommendation, and I've resisted seeing this film because of my dislike for Rian Johnson, kind of like, stepping all over the Star Wars film that he did. But it's a well done whodunit film. The thing is, though, so accent. So the Daniel Craig accent is a little distracting. It could have been better. He could have been less of a cartoon character if the accent was a little better, but it still works. I mean, because all of the characters are a bit exaggerated, but unique. Like the parts, how they fit together is very American, interesting, and unique. And it's all like, old money in America is pretty rare, and so most of what you have in America is kind of new money, nouveau riche, people, making money from technology, or things like fame, success of being a best-selling author or whatever. So that's newer money. So these families that they want to live like old money families, or be distinguished and have the charm of old money, don't. And so it's very easy to see through that fake veneer of a well-established, well-bred, well-educated family, because nobody is basically living like that, and you always have like grandchildren and things living those ridiculous lives. Oh, and there's a couple of shots in the trailer that remind me of something I wanted to talk about. But so basically, as it starts to get more tense and you're trying to figure out who had done it, the tone of it gets a little dark. Like right towards the end, before you have this relief, there's that scene where you see the woman's face and the spider crawling on her face. It almost has the atmosphere of Seven, like the lighting and everything. It's really dark and intense, and so there's a really weird tone shift right before it kind of lightens up again. So that was a little odd, but the but overall the performances are really good. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis as the kind of screeching, screaming, angry sister was good. And everybody, I don't think, aside from Daniel Craig's accent, which, you get over pretty fast. He was the only kind of, because he had so much time. They gave him so much screen time, and he's kind of like, because he's a detective, kind of following through everything. You're listening to him a lot, and it just doesn't. It's not quite there. So, this is a Rian Johnson film, and I think he was definitely trying to subvert the whodunit. Like, the whodunit is kind of a like a TV movie and kind of classic, like Agatha Christie, if you ever read And Then There Were None, which I think used to be called 10 Little Indians. The whodunit are basically like Clue, like the board game Clue. Like, you're trying to find out, there's somebody dead, and you're trying to find out how they died and who was responsible. So the whodunit genre is very kind of an old staple of films, and this is a very entertaining version of that, because you have kind of colorful characters, the same way like the Clue board game would have colorful characters, or any way that they bring these kind of extravagant. They even say The Last Jedi and Looper. They bring these characters together, so it's very funny to see how they bounce off of each other. And so one thing he doesn't do is play with suspicion. So as the family members are telling their stories, usually as an audience, you're like, oh, it was him, oh, it was her, or they had a reason. He just kind of basically gives everybody a financial reason to want this guy dead and to have control of their money again, but doesn't kind of do that teasing where, oh, okay, maybe, and gives it away, like tells Marta's, the nurse's side of the story very quickly. And so there's the 7 looking shots. So it gets pretty intense at that point. So it doesn't do those same sort of things, and then works very hard to subvert it by keeping you completely off guard against who it would be. Like, obviously this is a bad person. They switch them to being a little more sympathetic character, and then it wasn't. It was just kind of a like a little bit of a red herring, kind of a bait and switch. But you eventually get the story of how everything goes together, and it's satisfying. It makes sense. There's nothing that didn't work, and in the climax of things, like things that the grandfather had said at the beginning kind of come back into play. And as you can see in the interview session, so that graphic with all the knives, there's actually like a piece of art or a piece of sculpture in the house that's just a bunch of knives, maybe because he's a mystery writer and knives played a part or whatever. There is this, there you go, you see it on the wall behind them, this just kind of radiating pattern of knives, kind of like the Game of Thrones looking throne, the kind of sword fused throne. So, but it's a radial circle when all the points of the knives are in. And during the interview, people are kind of sitting a little bit offset. And I think at the climax, like right when they're figuring out the story of the film, I think Daniel Craig's character is sitting exactly in the middle with all the knives like pointed at his head. So they use that visually while they're depicting or giving the different family members points of view. They use that kind of, it's always there in the background, and it comes in the climax of the movie. It comes into play, the fact that there's a bunch of knives on the wall. And but they visually only use, I think there's only one shot where I think it's Daniel Craig sitting right in the middle, and it's just like this halo of knives pointed right at his head. So I think they're kind of giving you that feeling that it's the climax of things. But so Rian Johnson does subvert some things in this and tries to, and I don't think like really does anything particularly new with this story. It's just a very entertaining, well-crafted story that keeps you guessing and gives you a fun, kind of satisfying climax. But at the same time, he puts things in it that this film could have been much more timeless. It didn't have to reference smartphones and alt-right and woke, kind of thinking, and it didn't have to have all that stuff in there. And I don't know why he always feels like those things have to be part of his stories, because this would be a much more timeless film because of the genre that it is, the whodunit style. It could exist forever as a fun little film to watch, but there's a lot of like weird. I mean, I guess they use the smartphones effectively. Instead of having like the tape recorder recording something, they show that their phone has been recording something, or people in a car chase, but they're calling each other during the car chase. Those sorts of things are okay. It works okay, but it wasn't necessary, and it dates things very specifically. Like we're all going to. This film is an artifact of the 2020s. Definitely, things exist, and people have political arguments exactly as they do within these last few years, and so it's very frustrating that has to be in there, because if you could have just like shifted that, like not even giving a specific time that this was, or taken the technology out of it a little bit, then you would have a very timeless film. I think that would be much more fun, because there wasn't anything in those references to very now the present day that needed to be in there for the story. It all worked well without that. So I didn't like that. Because it's just kind of distracting and annoying. And then the last scene. So anybody that has seen this? Hey. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, so I hope the Twitch stream is going okay. But cool. So sorry. So the last scene. So if you've seen this movie, the last scene of the film is very political. And it's this kind of goofy liberal take on the end of whiteness. And because you have this like weird, imperfect, like fighting for the scraps, or fighting for their financial security of this goofy white family, and it's like kind of, I forget, I think it's New England, like they're obviously in New England somewhere, and so there's a shot where one of the characters, kind of Victor, the resolution of stuff is basically basically has this like and the meek shall inherit the earth kind of tone, and they've already depicted certain characters as good, and so they say that's why things worked out for them, because they are good characters. But it also is it is drawn along racial lines, and basically saying that white people are bad and this should happen, they should lose everything, and so it's that weird political message, like he kind of put in Last Jedi and things, is so unnecessary. And it doesn't, like, the movie itself doesn't really, it's a very light, goofy comedy, basically, like a a whodunit, but it's very comedic, and has a dark turn like right before the resolution. And to put this like political thing in there, it's like, it's so unnecessary, and it's going to date this film and kind of make people like, after you get the climax of how the story resolves, and then this little like political thing at the end, this little like yes, a little smirky, and all of his political things are so smirking stupid, and just, I really hate that. It's like, there's a lot of people like now that say that everything is political, and you can't separate any art, any storytelling, anything that you're doing from politics, because everything is political, and to deny that is just evoking some privilege, some white privilege, or some privileged position, that you're saying, I don't have to consider this because it doesn't affect me, but everybody else has to deal with politics. And I still don't believe that's true. I still think that's a little it's a weird excuse to make these very clumsy and naive, in a lot of cases, like political stances and opinions and things. So this movie ends with a goofy, kind of on a goofy political note, that it didn't have to. Like, I think if it wasn't a product of this time, you wouldn't have felt that. It wouldn't have felt odd in that way, and you would have been like, oh, you can just see him, at his little his like MacBook Air, just like smirking as he describes that last shot. I just felt that so much, like this self-satisfied smirking nonsense. And he's a competent writer. This is a fun story. And that was so unnecessary. And all the little references to, the one grandson being a Nazi or whatever is so unnecessary and so of this time. And it's going to make this lose its ability to kind of span different decades and different eras as a enjoyable film. So, yeah. there wasn't. I don't think there was much as far as subverting the genre. Like whodunit is not a very sophisticated or very. It's just a very fun, entertaining kind of style of movie, and I don't think he did a lot to subvert that. So yeah, there's, and I think that that instinct, that tendency to want to do that is very odd. So I really think that not only Ryan Johnson, but there's probably like a group of people you could identify as that instinct to subvert expectations is to try to be doing something new and original. But you're not, because if you're subverting something that someone expects, then you're relying on those traditional readings and traditional storytelling, and then go, but this, but that. And so it's like a yes, but, or actually, it has that tone of people that start comments or start, internet comments or start entries in discussions that are like, well, actually, that's the tone that all that like subverting expectations has, and I don't think it's not making anything new, and it's just this smirking revenge against being bullied in high school or not being popular or whatever that thing is that you're carrying with you that makes you actually, yeah, but actually, or yes, but everything, in some kind of weird revenge. So you're not making anything new. You're just kind of, twisting established tropes and things. But that doesn't mean anything. You can just say, oh, you're expecting this to be blue and it's red. Okay. It doesn't. So I think there's more creative and more kind of, if you want to revise genres, or you want to take a genre and turn it on its head so that it becomes something new, I think like Tarantino, or there's more '90s directors that have done that much more effectively, and I think Ryan Johnson thinks he's doing something that he's not, and is not going to have any consequence or going to have any influence. I mean, I think that if you're going to specifically try to subvert something, it could have a huge consequence and a huge influence on future filmmakers. And this little ha ha ha, smirky nonsense doesn't. So yeah, I don't know. Yes, empty friend. I am talking about the mug balcony scene. Sorry. Yeah, sorry that Twitch wasn't working. Yeah, right. That's the thing that's the biggest subversion, is putting you in Marta's side and knowing what happened. So you're not, and that's why he doesn't spend so much time like pointing fingers at different family members, because so early on you find out the actual events of what happened, and then some of the little details have to be clarified. So it's kind of like the whodunit is subverted because you find out very early. So while that relieves all the tension, but no, there's still people pretending to be something they're not, or there's still things that need to be revealed for you completely understand the story. But it's really well crafted. I mean, I definitely can't argue with him getting the best original screenplay for this, because it's a very well crafted story that feels, in the subversion, feels a little fresh. Helps take a not a very vital, kind of a tired genre, and breathe a little life into it. But still, he's using the flamboyant characters and everything to tell that same kind of mystery story. But oh no. Locked out and can't end the stream. Oh no. Oh, strange. But yeah, is it? Oh yeah, I should have, I guess, been checking to see if I got dinged by. Oh no, yeah. So are we still live? Oh no. Did I running this in the background get me shut down? Sorry, let me just check real quick. Sorry. Oh no. Ah, damn it. Okay, well, let's stop. Damn, it didn't work. Okay. So wait. Let me put something else in the background here. Yeah, I think something happened with the something happened. Yeah, something happened with me running that trailer. Yeah, YouTube. Okay, cool. Well, thanks. Yeah. So we're still on we're still on Twitch. YouTube went down. Okay. Yeah, I thought with no sound, maybe I should have flipped it. That would have maybe helped. But I don't understand. That's a weird thing that trailers set off content IDs because trailers are so fast cut. Why would you put why would you copyright a trailer when a trailer is just a promotion? Like it would be like you're not allowed to play McDonald's commercials on stream. Yeah, very odd. Well, anyhow, so the nice thing is though, from Twitch I can download the video. Okay. Oh yeah. No, I think the what it says on the coffee mug that's a cute little thing, but I think just from other experiences with Ryan Johnson, I think that was a little bit of the end of whiteness, and that's such a common thing recently. It's very odd. Um, but yeah. So anyhow, well, Twitch didn't knock me out. That's good. Uh, um, yeah, that sucks. I'll have to. Sorry about that. So sorry, everybody that's on YouTube. Can I restart? Oh, I'm back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I guess as soon as I stopped playing a trailer. So that's really weird. I don't understand because I had that when we were doing like a review of Black Panther on the Idle Red Hands channel. We did a I just ran pieces of the trailer, cutting kind of back and forth while we were talking, and really tiny little pieces, and it still gets content copyright claims on it. So that's very weird. It's a trailer, and I can't believe that they have that set up as something they need to protect. Like I was basically just promoting this film. It's very odd. It's very very odd. Damn it. Okay, well I'm back, and I'm sorry for the 30 minutes of unavailable. On I got to learn the sensitivities of YouTube a little bit more. So Knives Out is definitely a film worth watching. I don't know if you'll be able to watch it more than once because of it being a whodunit. I guess it's fun. It would be fun to look for other details in a second viewing, even after you know how it's going to end, because it doesn't rely so heavily on that answer. You kind of know what happened, and you're just hoping that the character you're on the side of, or that you're put on the side of, resolves it well. So yeah, it's I don't understand that. Yeah, and I tried to kind of bury it enough. Yeah, people have to do trailer reactions. It's so strange. But maybe because I was feeding YouTube to itself, right? It doesn't like that. I was watching YouTube on YouTube and yeah, making I don't know. Yeah, I wonder what that sensitivity is. So I was hoping to get away with a silent trailer in the background, but yeah. So sorry everybody that just lost this suddenly. I'll try to pull this down from Twitch and do something to it, flip it around or do something to it, and see if I can re-upload it. I don't know, but please go to Twitch if you'd like to see the rambling, non-spoiler rambling of the rest of this. Yes, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm back. So I guess YouTube didn't like that trailer running in the background with no sound, with a chat and a poster and me in front of it. I don't know. Yeah, and maybe running it in a loop is a mistake because it gives the copyright system multiple chances to catch what you're showing. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. I was sent off to YouTube limbo there for a minute. So yeah, so I stayed on Twitch. So yeah, I guess when some empty friends switched over to Twitch is when I stopped existing. Yeah, sorry about that. So anyhow, yeah, so when we do this in the future, I will just put a still image like something more like this in the background. It's not worth yeah, running the trailer. I just thought it would be more interesting, something more interesting behind me. But YouTube doesn't like me playing, so I'll have to try to see if a Burger King commercial on a loop gets that same thing. Yeah, that's weird. We didn't get knocked off when I was doing like Japanese TV commercials and stuff. Nothing triggered that on the stream. It's very odd. Yeah, Hollywood still has a lot of weird problems. So maybe I was trying to tell you the plot of the movie with the trailer running in the background, which would replace the actual viewing of the movie. That's the fair use is so strange, like how the tech companies are misinterpreting it. And the fact that they would protect a trailer, that's really weird. But maybe because, trailers get millions of views and maybe they want to not let people show trailer. Well, no, people do trailer compilations. Like I've seen channels that are just all, the best new sci-fi films of, 2021, and they'll just put a bunch of trailers together in a video. So who knows? My inexperience. Yes, I was sent a timeout. The stream is unavailable. So I'm curious what it's going to look like archived, if there's just going to be a black hole in the middle, because I showed too much of old Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes, but yeah, so yeah, nice. So anybody have any other input about seeing Knives Out, or wanting to, or wanting to not see Knives Out? It's definitely entertaining. It's on Netflix right now here, I believe. I don't know what that means. Like the world is different. So if you didn't see it when it was in theaters, it's definitely worth checking out on Netflix, because it's yeah, entertaining, and just for the performances. I mean, the script is competent, and the cast is awesome. It's great to see a lot of, and like, seeing Don Johnson, or the even Christopher Plummer. It's been a long time since I've seen him in anything, but yeah, it's well done. I just don't understand some of the things that had to be referencing, like the 2020s. That's not, or I guess the late 20 teens, early 20s, didn't seem necessary. And I think this could have been a much more timeless film without it, but we'll see. Oh yeah, no, I haven't. Oh, that's right. This would be a good time to ask that. So I'm open to suggestions about what what anybody would like to watch for next week. I have a few suggestions, or a few things that, and they're not easy films though, so I'm not sure if they'll be particularly fun. So if anybody has any ideas for fun movies, or something that they want to talk about, I'm definitely open to suggestions. So yeah, Some Empty Friend, that was a very good suggestion that got me to think about yeah, trying to get rid of my prejudice and watch a Ryan Johnson film. He's definitely a decent writer. So yeah. Daniel Craig is he definitely, yeah. And that's surprising, because I haven't seen him. I've seen him in a lot of dramas, like, mostly as James Bond, but also in kind of really tough dramatic roles. So it was fun to see him being goofy in this role, and the fact that they even kind of admit towards the end of the film, you're not very good at what you do, which is always a funny thing with Private Eyes, to they not having complete competence and being completely reliably intelligent or strong characters is always, yeah, funny. But oh, a possible sequel. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I wonder if because they would have to set up. Well, I think you could definitely take the Daniel Craig character into another situation. Um, I think that could probably be the only connection. I'm not sure. Yeah, if there's a way to kind of reopen this to kind of undo the ending of it. Yeah, more Benoit Blanc. Yeah. No, I think that's an interesting. He's a fun character, and to put him into other situations, like have him just mysteriously be drawn, and just like old film noir, old like Philip Marlowe detective stories where he keeps getting drawn into things, and they're very so there's a lot of like I could see writing like subverting like femme fatale characters and some of the kind of traditional tropes of detective novels in the same way that this whodunit was kind of where they played around with that idea. But that's already been done. Like Chinatown kind of has done that, but in an entertaining way. I mean, if he keeps this tone and lightness that character would bring to it, I think that would be fun. Yeah, yeah, more of that same detective would definitely, I think, do well. And I think, yeah, Ryan Johnson could definitely write that. I think he's capable of writing that. Yeah, I wonder. The film seemed to do okay. It wasn't huge, but it did okay. And I think it's gonna be very happy. It's gonna live happily, in streaming and on video, because it's very entertaining. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that could say this wasn't a fun film to watch. All the performances are good. It's a well told story and has nice little twists and kind of red herrings and things that make it fun. But it's it's unnecessarily updated. I don't know. And maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my prejudice of like not wanting to watch people use smartphones. Oh, and I love the fact that I don't think that happened, but it was another kind of class thing. I don't think it happened in the film, but every time they show Marta's smartphone screen, it's cracked. She's obviously dropped it and hasn't been able to have it repaired. I don't think that's a plot point, but but that comes up, like you're seeing like the detectives, like the police detectives or other people's smartphones, and when she brings hers up, it's cracked. Yeah, I don't think that's a plot point, but it's another like his little class message there. Oh, Edgar Wright. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Hot Fuzz. I think I've seen Hot Fuzz, and I just recently saw Baby Driver, which I started to try to watch Baby Driver like two or three times, and that first heist is just so I couldn't get into it. Like I couldn't get into that first little setup for the first time he's like actually driving, and I just stopped watching it a couple of times. I don't know why. It was just like the character or something was just like, okay, I don't know if I can watch a whole movie of whatever this is, but yeah, but I liked it. I liked by the time I got all the way through it, I thought it was fun. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's a good detail. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hot Fuzz is good. Yeah, yeah. We should, yeah, because I think I've seen that still on streaming here as well. Yeah, and Edgar Wright. Is there any other? Let me look up real quick. Where should I do that? I don't know. Oh, maybe IMDb will be easiest. My little window here. Yeah, let me see if there's any other Edgar Wright I haven't seen. Uh, uh, uh. So I just watched. Yeah, so Baby Driver is probably the last one that I saw. Oh, he did Scott Pilgrim. Oh, that's funny. I didn't. Yeah, that didn't click. Let's see. The more recent stuff. Yes. So Spark Brothers documentary is the most recent thing. Oh, I'm trying to figure out why everything is so strange. It's because it's doing Japanese names of things. That's funny. Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead. Wow, yeah, he does. Well, I guess this is crediting everything too. Yeah, it's been a while. I guess, yeah, Hot Fuzz is 2007. It's been a while since I've seen that. That would work. Yeah, yeah. No, it's good, and I like. Yeah, I remember liking the tension. Like Hot Fuzz had a weird, yeah, tension and kind of crazy, yeah, tone to it. Yeah, but more extreme. So yeah, let's do that. Because my only other thoughts for movies, because I know on YouTube for free you can see both Mike Lee's Naked, which is a Peter Thewlis starring one of his earliest roles. But it's pretty long and it's pretty rough, but it's a really amazing film and a really amazing performance. Young Peter Thulis performance. And the other movie is Tarkovsky's Stalker is on a Russian movie site for free, like subtitled with English or Japanese or any. It's like multiple subtitles. So there's a Russian film channel that has Stalker for free. So both of those movies would be fun to watch, but maybe the discussion would be a little heavy on both of those. So let's stick with lighter stuff for a while. So, oh yeah, yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's do Hot Fuzz for next week because it's been a while since I've seen it, so it'll be fun to go back to that, and then we can talk more about like Edgar Wright films in general. Ah, okay. So yeah, but everything I'm thinking of suggesting is pretty heavy. Uh, yeah, Hot Fuzz would be good, but if it's something yeah, you've already seen a bunch. I don't know what would be good. So, oh, now we're stuck in, sorry, Google White Hell. Sorry. And now we're stuck in Monsterland. Let's go back to this. Yeah, so, well, I'll learn not to put trailers behind me for next time. Yeah, what's another, well, Brick. Yeah, I don't want to get stuck in Ryan Johnson hell, but I am curious about Brick. What's another kind of lighter movie? Okay, cool. Okay, let me think. What's something that I've put off watching that might be good? Hmm. Um, I'm trying to think. Well, let me see what stuff I have like easy access to. That might make a big difference. Oh, you know what I just watched? It was weird. Just like out of nowhere. This it was like a when I did a search on Netflix, I got a bunch of results, and you know how the results get like much less, much less good, much less relevant. I guess as the further you go down, they're just kind of trying to promote their original films and stuff. But Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was suggested, and I hadn't seen that in like 10, 15 years or whatever. So I just put it on in the background, which is not an easy thing to do because it's it's in Chinese. Um, but then I got stuck watching it, and I forgot how beautiful and how weird. Like that will never be done again. That kind of American Chinese co-production with really famous, Hong Kong actors telling this beautiful epic story, and like better than it's been done in a lot of other situations. Like that will never exist again. And the tone of that film not having to have like heavy political messages or loyalty to the state or sacrifice or whatever, like that will never be done again. You won't be able to get that past Chinese censors, and they'll and Hong Kong is, I think, going to be in movie limbo for a while. So I just forgot how beautiful a thing that was. And what like a little artifact of that time, because already Hong Kong films were becoming more prominent and doing well at film festivals and things, and people were like Wong Kar-wai and a lot of the Hong Kong directors that weren't doing the like wushu or martial arts kind of films. I think they got a lot more attention, and that was really nice. I mean, I forgot what a nice thing that was, and it kind of faded away, and now we're back to this like miserable where the top grossing Chinese films are just garbage. They're either just trash comedies or these weird like historical epics with these like heavy Communist Party messages in them. What was I just thinking of? Good recommendation. Now I'm on the spot here for a good recommendation. I'm trying to think of what I have. So let me just see what I have access to kind of in on streaming. Let's see. Yeah, but that movie, if you've never seen that movie, it's definitely worth reading through. And I think the dub is pretty terrible, but it's definitely worth reading because it's a really beautiful story, a really beautiful idea, and that kind of unrequited love story, and yeah, kind of personal sacrifice for family tradition and stuff is really good. Dang, what's something? What's a good recommendation? You guys are killing me here. I can't think of. Oh, you know what I'd like to watch that I totally missed now is Mandy. Did anybody see Mandy when that was out? It's a Nicolas Cage movie, isn't it? That's a movie that I'd like to see. Oh wait, I'm losing my screen here. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see that, but I can't recommend it because I don't know if it'd be any good. All right, what are we doing here? Oh, that's fine. All right, let me see. Oh yeah, Mandy is great. Oh, good, good. Oh, okay. Well, let's do that then. I think that might be better than anything else I can think of. Cool. Yeah, it's on Prime Video here, so I'll do that for next time. Yeah, okay. So let's do Mandy. So who's the director? I gotta get back my little window here. But yeah, let's watch that for next time, and I won't show the trailer in the background. Yeah, it's 2018. That's one of those movies that got by me. So, oh yeah, Panos Cosmatos. Yeah, that's right. What else did he do? Did he do Neon Demon? No, Beyond the Black Rainbow. That's right, Beyond the Black Rainbow. Cool. Another film I haven't seen, but yeah, Panos Cosmatos. Let's watch Mandy, 2018's Mandy for next time. That will be good. All right. So let me put this behind me. What? Oh, that's Amazon. Oh, it's all Amazon. Nice. Ugh. Cool. All right. So where am I? So for next week, yeah, let's check out the the currently unavailable movie poster for Mandy. All right. Cool. Okay. Yeah, that'll be fun. Hey, Demon. How's it going? Uh, cool. All right. Yeah, yeah, K5. I think having the trailer in the background. I think yeah, anything that repeats that it gives it maybe the automation more of a chance to catch, something that it wants to flag. So I just got blocked because yeah, showing a movie trailer that's taking money out of the poor studios' children's mouths. So I won't do that. So I'll do a still image if I ever if I want to have something in the background. I'll just prepare a still image for the. Hey, how's it going? Hey everyone. Yes. So next week, what's another? Is there a better? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so, Nicolas Cage film. Yeah, that's really sad that Nicolas Cage and Bruce Willis, and I think even what's his face? They're doing those weird Chinese direct-to-video movies where they're just like getting paid big money to put their names on them and like stand in front of a green screen for 10 minutes. That's a shame that they're kind of taking advantage of that. So it's not those like weird German tax write-off Eastern European produced films. Now it's going to be all these like weird Chinese direct-to-video films. Oh, Mandy looks awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to I can't wait to watch this. It'll be more. Yeah, it'll be fun to talk about. Yes. Yeah. So everybody that's interested in anybody that's seen it and has some opinion, or anybody that wants to kind of hear about the film, we'll take a look at Nicolas Cage in Mandy next week. Yeah, I think I watched Red Letter Media talk about it, but I didn't never see the film. Hey, how's it going? Nice. Very cool. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the love. And yeah, John, that art was from me. The graphic art, the uh, Omigo logo with Hyphonics in it, it's recommended by K5 and everything. Yeah, so check your Instagram, the official Hyphonics Instagram. I direct messaged you with more of that art, and yeah, just a thank you for all the good that you've sent this way. Hey Jay, this is a hey to Jay King. Nice. Thank you, Gilly. Yeah, I'm still working on this. I'm gonna have to make a big decision though come summertime, because there's hot, miserable, humid summer in Japan. So if we're gonna be masking again for summer, that was hard. That was a hard 2020. Summer of 2020 was hard to have this beard and a mask in the super humid weather. All right. Yeah, so go back if it's still possible and take a look at a little discussion of Knives Out. Um, that's what we tried to watch, but I made the mistake of putting the trailer behind me, so it was yeah, blocked out. Nice. Yeah, this is coming to you from Japan, so it's a drastically different time zone. But yeah, so it's just early evening here. Sorry. So normally I'm drawing cartoons, which we can get back to. Let me see if I can. So normally I'm drawing cartoons on the stream, in case it it wasn't, you weren't able to get that from my weird discussion. So let me open something in oh, here we go. So these are all the PNGs. Yeah, so this, let me get rid of the Illustrator files. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. So this is in the Hyphonics official Instagram. So that was the recommendation by K5 to do a parody logo, and then so I did the little face in the logo, and liked how that came out. So then I started to do kind of, oh, there's the original logo. That's the logo that I ripped off, and there it is again. So that's what I was trying to parody, and then I just elaborated. So I took that face out and then just elaborated on that. Nice. And so yeah, that was what I came up with for the yeah. So that's the face that's in the blue, in the little blue man on the Amigo logo, and I just flipped the colors on it so you could see it more, and elaborate. And there's some tint on the glasses to make it a little more pedo, a little more retro pedo look. But yeah, as you can see, there's the let's put this here. So that's the face originally, and then that's just the elaboration of it. No, and I guess the blue eyes stayed because they the eyes are blue in the little logo. So that's where that came from. Yeah, so I posted that on the Reddit, on the Hyphonics subreddit, and those are also, the PNGs are also in the Instagram, the official Hyphonics Instagram. So yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that, and so I hope that's of some use. And so that's, yeah, it's a gift for if you want to do anything with that. That's all yours, John. If you want to use that for any goods or anything, I wrote that in the message on Instagram. You've got, yeah, free use of that for anything you want to do. It was, yeah, fun to do. And yeah, I just needed to. I kept wanting to do some kind of fan art for the stuff that. Let's get rid of this one. That's the or CMYK. Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a while, and just I had a couple ideas and never kind of executed on anything. But this was, yeah, good chance. So yeah, thanks so much for all the viewers. Yeah, I I really appreciate it. Good stuff. But oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks for subscribing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, if I missed anything, I've got my head up my ass this week as far as notifications and everything. Yeah, thanks a lot for the subscribe. And yeah, you're lucky that I am actually like here, that I actually survived the screw up of the so it was, we were talking about Knives Out, and I put the trailer behind us, and YouTube killed the stream. So yeah, so thanks for the subscribe, and sorry if I missed anything that came up. Nice. But very cool. Yeah. And yeah, so this happens every week. So I do my little digital cartoon every week, and I think now we're going to talk about a movie every week. So that'll be something to keep me paying attention. So yeah, Mandy is next week's film. Yeah, I wonder if there's a way. I should probably keep some kind of archive. Maybe I'll take out the movie discussion from the Twitch stream and make it its own YouTube video. Oh no, well, yeah, it'll probably get knocked out again. Yeah, the trailer will knock it out again. But maybe I can flip it or do something. But that was a dumb yeah, that was a dumb thing to happen. I thought it was covered up enough by me and other stuff that it wouldn't get dinged. But nice. Oh, that's right. Oh, Japanese word of the week. Damn. I should. Let's see. Oh, I just saw. What did I just see? Oh, that was movie titles. Now, let's see. So we did a. Oh, so well, we can do a specific. I can flip back to this. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so we can do, so yesterday, let me see, how can I go? Hopefully Wikipedia doesn't ding me. Let's see. What can I do? What can I do? Oh, here we go. Okay, so uh yesterday was Dole Festival, which is also called Girls' Day in Japan. So Hina, this is the kanji. So anything that comes from kind of Chinese, they try to use the Chinese characters for it. So Hina Matsuri. Matsuri is festival. So I guess that can be our word, right? Matsuri. But so the summer festivals or any sort of celebration, kind of public celebration, is an usually outdoor festival or a festival related to a temple is a matsuri. So matsuri is just any general celebration. So Hina Matsuri, like, so here's what I was talking about. This is the traditional, like, Hina dolls. So that's like saying doll. Hina means doll. So the doll set has this 7-tiered, there's a platform of 7 tiers. And so there's all of these traditional dolls that are meant to be placed on here. And at the top, of course, is the prince and princess, or the kind of, the king and queen, emperor, I guess emperor and empress of the, and so her attendants are there, and then his attendants are on the next row. And so it's a very traditional and very expensive. Like, if a family has this is a lot of money they spent on dolls, and they only put them up for the first few weeks of March. So there's a girls' day and then a boys' day. So the girls' day is the doll is the symbol. These the kind of empress doll is the symbol, the hina. And then the boys' day, the koi. So they use koi banners, which is the fish, kind of the big strong version of a goldfish. The koi is the very strong symbol for boys strength and vitality, and the hina, the kind of princess doll, is the symbol for kind of the female ideal, like intelligent, intelligent, wise, successful. I think all is part of that. Oh yeah, then so of course they go through all of the meaning of each of the levels. Yeah, so matsuri. Nice. Illegal matsuri. Very cool. Yeah. So this is a very nice time because it relates to the spring. So this is the springtime in the beginning of cherry blossoms are coming in a few weeks. So it's a nice time to celebrate both boys and girls. And this is the end of the school year. So springtime, end of March, beginning of April is the transition. So in a lot of Western countries, your summer vacation is your break between school years. In Japan, they use spring because they love the symbol of spring as renewal. So new things, your new job will start in spring. Your new school year starts in spring. Everything new, because of the renewal of spring, starts at that time. But it's a very short holiday. It's only 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. So if you have to move, if you have to relocate for your new job, or you have to go to a new school, you basically have 2 weeks to like get your head around, instead of 2 months. You have 2 weeks to get your head around the being in a new grade or being in a new company. So they love that. Weekly curse word as well. A weekly curse word. Well, let me see the most weekly curse word. So let me see what they say. The multi-purpose. Let me see what they say. I don't want to. I hate these stupid websites. Let's Romaji. Okay, so the most common, it's very funny, the most common Japanese swear word that you will hear, that little children can say, that you'll hear on every kind of TV, and I guess like they're making it, I guess it's like the French say shit all the time, right? So kuso is the just like bullshit or shit or damn, and so you'll hear it in many many contexts. It literally can mean like feces or excrement, but as a profanity or exclamation, it kind of means damn, the same way that French people say merde when they mean damn. They're kind of the minor profanity exclamation. They say shit, and so kuso is the Japanese all-purpose shit word. But kids can say it, and anybody can say it. And if something is bad, if you say kuso mono or something is, I'm trying to think of a kuso ona, like if you want to say she's a bad girl, you can call her a shit girl or a shitty girl. But kuso is the multi-purpose negative word. Oh yeah, we haven't no new murder hornets yet. Yeah, so it's basically the equivalent of damn. So they don't mind kids saying it. It's in kids animation and kids cartoons and stuff. But you can you can use it in pretty rough ways. So if you're calling someone a shit person, or their house is shit, or their food is shit, that's a little bit rougher meaning than it should be. But yeah, so so kuso is you may hear that a lot. Kind of peppered throughout Japanese, and it's the exclamation a lot that you'll hear of damn. So it's okay. It's like they don't censor it, so it's okay to say on television and stuff. So I've heard a lot of kuso lately. Nice. Yes, you definitely have. Yeah, it's really common for any kind of negative thing. And like I was saying, it's like probably the equivalent of how French use merde. So it's that same kind of usage. So I'm not sure if that was taught to them maybe through Portuguese or something. Like I'm not sure if that's the use of that was like natively Japanese, or it was something that they kind of imported. Because there's not, that's easily the most prevalent. So kuso matsuri would be a shitty party, a shitty festival. All right. Yeah, so there you go. There's your kind of bad word. That was just the first one that popped into my head. There's your kind of bad word for this week. But yeah, that you'll hear that a lot. So if you listen in anything that's done in Japanese and even kids entertainment, they will say "kuso," and it's got that kind of intonation, that kind of exclamation of "damn." Same sort of use. Or I guess disappointed. Damn. Yeah, more damn it kind of use. But there we go. Uh, what a messed up live stream this week has been. So yeah, I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. Oh, that's the interesting thing though, is the F word. It's a fuck on in Japanese is they know it's a profanity in English, but it's not censored the same way. So sometimes you'll hear it on television. I think maybe that's changed, but some character or some TV talent or personalities have had the F word in their names because it's not a banned word. I think that's changing though, as people understand English more and understand the severity of that word for English speakers, because they don't want to create content that they can't use in the English world because it's so much profanity. Yeah. But yeah, so that's really funny to see, and you'll see that a lot, on the kind of odd English on T-shirts and things. So kind of cheap goods that they just want to throw something that looks like English on there. Sometimes you'll see a lot of really rough profanity, and it'll be on little kids' clothes or whatever. You'll see the F word on kids' clothes, and if it's a company that doesn't care very much, that does happen. So I've seen that a few times. More hell and shit on kids' clothes with English on them. But yeah, the F word makes its appearance. All right. Wow, we've got so much, so many things outside the cartoon here. We're gonna have to come up with some multiple streams to get all this in. So yeah, apologies to everyone that was trying to watch the Knives Out discussion. Yeah, I was trying to figure out because there was a mobile game, like a mobile kind of battle royale game that came from yeah, I wonder what the origin. Well, we'll just do the Cambridge. It sounds kind of British-y. Yeah, refer to when people are being unpleasant about someone or trying to harm someone. They don't have the origin. I'm showing all these nice banner ads. Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, that's interesting. There's no good. Yeah, but there have been other films called Knives Out, and then there was that probably now dead mobile game. Yeah, but it's a perfect name for a whodunit when everyone kind of points the finger and turns on each other. So that's funny. But nice. Oh, nice. Yeah, English. Yeah. I'm sure there's definitely a subreddit for that. Oh, thank you, Aussie girl. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it, and thank you, Hyphonics, as always. Someday, I'll hit that 1,000 mark. Oh, excellent. Yeah. So thank you, Click and Drag, J King, and Aussie girl. Yeah, thank you for this, and Timmy Turner. Thanks. I'm sorry if I missed. Notifications should be. I think yeah, YouTube has been a little odd with it doesn't hit the notifications. Twitch has been doing okay, but yeah, YouTube hasn't been doing notifications. But thanks. Yeah, thanks so much. And next week, so next week we'll talk about Mandy without the trailer. I'll try to find some good. The poster art looks amazing for that, so I'll try to find some good images from the film and just put those behind me. I think I can slideshow stuff. That would be cool. And Nice. So yeah. So usually there's a convenience store segment. So I kind of sacrificed that for the movie this week, a movie discussion this week. But it got yeah, it got pulled down. So we'll have to see if that there will just be a big blank in the middle of the archive stream, or what they're gonna do for that. Yeah, it's very odd. Nice. Yes, yeah. 450, yeah, that's all. That's all the through the grace and goodness of Hyphonics. Yeah, those have been from raids from the live stream. So yeah, appreciate that a lot, because I hovered around like 100 subs forever, and I think I was like sub 50 for the first like 2 years that I did the live stream. It's brutal, but yeah, so very cool. Yeah, it'll just be nice to have like super chat working and be able to all the other kind of options that open up with YouTube partnership. But maybe now I'll never know, because they because they show movie trailers on my live streams. Oh man. Well, thanks for the recommendation, some empty friend of Knives Out. I would not have, without you suggesting that, I would not have watched the movie, and it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth a watch. I enjoyed the kind of twists of that movie a lot, and it's fun when there's a couple of other movies that have done that they reveal the killer, or they reveal the ending like at the very close to the beginning, and you're like, well, how are we going to get there? And I think that's a really fun way to tell a story, is there's still going to be some little twists and tricks to get to where the story ends, but yeah, ultimately you don't know how it's going to resolve. Yeah, so I'm curious, has anybody watched Knives Out twice? Because that would be I wonder if there's anything satisfying about seeing it again, like seeing how things set up, because like I said, there are little things. They're pretty obvious though, so it's not tiny details that pay off later. So I kind of remembered the things that they referenced, but I wonder if there's other little odd little things about the house or whatever that they may pay off later. I don't know. We will see. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Unknown Girl. I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And check out the Nmity Stories. Let me do a little quick plug again. I just posted the 8th, so that's 2 months. 2 months of stories. You evil bastards. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't like. It really doesn't like my. There we go. So another thing that I do are these little kind of sci-fi audio stories on this channel, this other channel, the channel that I just linked to. So the Nmity Corporation channel is, oh, that's why when I do a search, it doesn't come up. I named the channel Nmity Corporation. So it's kind of an evil, dystopian, corporate run world, kind of but just very near future. And so the technology invading all the characters' lives. But yeah, I just posted the 8th story on there. So that's 2 hours of these little stories. They're about 15 minutes each, roughly. And they're read by AI voices, so kind of a combination of a little IBM Watson, a little Amazon, any place I can find like interesting artificial voice. I'll choose those as different character voices, and try to cast the stories. So kids sound like kids. The male characters sound like male characters. Female characters sound like female characters, and so it gives you a little bit of variety. And then I do a little background music, atmosphere, and sound effects to kind of distract a little bit from how fake the voices are. Nice. Nice. Yeah, so take a look at those. if you're interested, I'm just curious to see if this is like a venue, but I've been posting them weekly, and I think I've still got at least another month in me of ideas and stories that I've started. But the one from this week, I actually just wrote a week ago. So it's been a year since I wrote one of these stories new. They've kind of just been sitting, and I was trying to figure out what to do with them. But short fiction is one of those things that there's no real market for. A lot of even very established, very famous writers, they either include them in collections of various author stories, or they just give them away for free on their website. So I tried to figure out a way. Oh yeah, no, I didn't use the Alexa voice, but maybe there's a few voices that sound very similar. Nice. Yes, sorry, K5. I think when you were away, I finished. I can open those back up. Yeah, so this week's cartoons. Let's see. So as a refresher, the apple professed his innocence in the mashed sandwich incident, and one more. What was that? 304, 309. And new luggage. Brand new luggage would soon feel the irreversible effects of baggage handling. So the luggage was looking a little shiny and clean, so I just I just went with that. Yeah, I haven't so far. I do kind of the black and white photo thing for the thumbnails for the stories, but yeah, I haven't had a chance to do any art. I did kind of like a little graphic, a schematic drawing of the what would be the visor, like the little nose piece that everyone is wearing in the oh yeah, I can just switch over to this if I can find my cursor. Yeah, so here's the channel. This is what I was talking about. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so for the stories I've just done, I just did the so that's on YouTube. This is what they're like. So I just did a little animation over the thumbnail. But yeah, no, I haven't done any artwork. I keep thinking about like the best way to do that, because there's a lot of like 3D assets and things that might be interesting. But yeah, I haven't done any artwork specifically for the stories. I've just been trying to get the stories kind of produced weekly. The poor little sandwich got stomped. But yeah, but the stories are a little kind of like the cartoon, kind of like abuse cartoons. They're a little bit sad and about kind of like your life being subverted, or kind of the disappointments and frustrations, and mostly in this case they're caused by the technology. Like your life is, you're being told to do certain things in your life that you just don't want to do. That's what these are all yeah about. So there's also a podcast. So I think in the oh, I didn't. I need to link. So I'll put more links in the stories for the subscription to the podcast and the website itself. So that might help. I think as a podcast, it's doing more. It's doing better. I don't think YouTube knows what to do with audiobook videos. I don't think they because they're not faces and things in them. I don't think they're particularly scoring well with the algorithm. But yeah. So that's the other thing that I do that you know about. But yeah, so that's 2 hours now of all of these crazy. Yeah, and there's also a playlist of everything all together. If you want to see, or if you want to hear everything kind of in succession. But nice. Well, that was our first very. So I was subverting expectations of having a movie discussion by having my stream taken down in the middle of a movie discussion. So hopefully it's salvageable. Actually, I can take a look right now, can't I? See if it's. Yeah, it should. I should be able to pull some part of that out. I'll do a highlight on Twitch of just the movie talk, and then I'll upload it and see what YouTube does to it a second time, if it will allow a trailer to play in the background. Maybe I'll blur everything but myself out of the background and see how that goes. Yeah, there's no audio, and I've heard that that's the thing that gets you easily, because it's the easiest thing to match is audio. So if I ran the audio for the trailer, even at a low level, it sometimes catches the content ID catches it. But nice. So yeah, that will be it. So yeah, next week will be Mandy. And I'll have to think of another Japanese swear word to talk about. Maybe it'll be related to Mandy. Who knows? But yeah, so let's do that before next week. So anybody that hasn't seen it, get a try to get a view of Mandy for next week. And anybody that's already seen it, we'll talk about that. Yeah, I'm sure it seems like visually that the movie is going to be really insane, like really interesting visually. So I'll try to watch it not on a phone or anything, something bigger and more worthy of the visuals. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't lose the channel from doing something stupid. I do not understand the regard with which they hold trailers. I've had a lot of problems. Yeah, trying to post. Yeah, I wonder, like somebody was saying, it's like, how do you do trailer reactions if you're not allowed to show trailers? That's weird. Because my face was on it. It was obscured by both the chat and the movie poster, and yeah, I don't know. Very bizarre. But I do have those awesome curtains, right? So next week you can enjoy the curtains again. Look at that. So every time I'll do some movie music or applause or something too. So then when the curtains come out, you can see those. The curtains revealing my Streamlabs account. Oh, that's a good idea, Rev. Yeah. Is just kind of, yeah, stopping it, because I've seen people do that when they're reviewing like Netflix series. They'll scrub through the Netflix, and like when they want to make a point, oh, in this scene this happened, they'll scrub to that point and have the still in the background behind them. And I don't think any of that's gotten flagged. Those videos haven't gone anywhere. So that might have been I should have just put it up on Netflix and scrubbed through it. Then it would have been a still image. Maybe I'll do that for Mandy next week. But then I might be showing TNA and horrible violence and stuff, so maybe I can't do that either. Man. Yeah, I should put some sort of effect to obscure it. But I've seen people scrubbing through videos and doing commentary. So I'll have to see. I'll have to see how that works. But yeah, Mandy will be next week, and I'll have a better idea, like from watching the film, like how much of it is going to be, too brutal to watch. But yeah, I'll come up with something. All right. Well, I survived this without ruining not without ruining myself. So yeah, we'll take a look at comments next week. We'll take a look at Mandy next week, and I'll see if I can hit up the convenience store and have something weird, because now we're getting to springtime. There's a lot more, different themed. Oh yeah, they just came out with a Japanese cherry flavored water, which is really good. So maybe I'll see if I can find some of that. But yeah, let's wrap this up, and I'll try to pull out my yeah, thanks, Some Empty Friend. Thank you so much for this movie idea. If I can figure out how to execute it, I will I will do that. So we'll have a uninterrupted movie discussion next week. And yeah, there's a lot of like weird arty films I haven't gotten a chance to see. So yeah, there might be some good stuff. So next week, Mandy. So everybody take care. Yeah, right. I've barely been able to stay on. I've been raided. I've been completely turned off. My stream's been turned off. I had to watch a Rian Johnson film. I know I liked a Rian Johnson film. That was the most difficult part of this stream. To admit that he's a good writer. Yeah, and if he would have done a Star Wars story, that would have been perfect and he could have changed the direction. Just like the Lego guys doing Han Solo. They should have done a Han Solo comedy movie with the guys that did the Lego movie, and we would have had new Star Wars. And that would have been the beginning of new Star Wars. Instead of right in the middle throwing this really odd screenplay into, sad Luke Skywalker, the sad hermit Luke Skywalker. That was the worst. All right. So that'll be it for this week. So anybody that's watching for the first time, take a look at abusecartoons.com for the website for the cartoon that I draw. Nmity Stories, so Nmity Corporation on you can follow that link that I posted on YouTube, and also as a podcast, so on Apple Podcasts or Google. And then on Twitter, you can follow both Abuse Cartoons, and Nmity Stories is also on Twitter as well. I'm trying to figure out a good way to do Instagram for the short stories, but the videos I think are too long for IGTV. And there is a Patreon, so patreon.com/abusecartoons. If you want to support what's going on there. We should do, so with the Patreon, I should do a movie thing. There should be a movie related thing for the, like choosing next week's movie or whatever. Should be a a Patreon, a patron privilege. All right. So I will see everybody next week. Please take care, and hopefully it's warming up where you are. So we'll watch Mandy before then, and we'll have I'm sure, a pretty insane discussion of Nicolas Cage in revenge mode. So everybody take care, and I'll see you next week. So, and thank you too for all the new subscribers from the raid. I appreciate it, and thank you, Hyphonics, as always, for making this stream what it is. And there'll be more artwork in the future as to show my gratitude. So, take care, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.